Yeah, we back, baby. Keeping it real. Who That Sports Pod? Dolph Jackson, Coach Rock, presented by the Come On In Sports Network. Who That Nation, how you doing? Come on in. Take a seat, it's all good, you're amongst friends. Breaking news, interviews, Saints Juice. Open lines up just for you. 9 ball, 10 ball, where you at? 12 ball, 15, where you at? 3rd ball, 17, where you at? 9th ball, all the way in the back. Uptown, baby, downtown, baby. Everybody represent black and gold, baby. Uptown, baby, downtown, baby. Everybody represent black and gold, baby. Who that? Who that? Who that saying they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that saying they gon' beat them Saints? Who That Nation? How you doing? Come on in. Take a seat, sit back, relax, put your feet up, grab a drink, and let's talk Saints football. Y'all know what time it is. Time to keep it real. And family, listen, we got a special guest in the building today. Listen, I know around the country, first of all, let me say I need everybody to be safe, man. Stay warm. We know we're getting this Arctic blast. But, man, listen here. Today, man, I got a brother, man. This man, he supported me since I started my journey, man. He's one of the ones that I look up to, man. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know this, man. The one and only host of the State of the Saints podcast, Mr. T.J. Jones. TJ, man, come on in. What's going on, baby?
Hey, man, what's going on, Dolph, man? Thanks for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Man, I appreciate you being here, man. You're a hardworking man. Man, you got State of the Saints podcast. You got your sideline reporting for Coastal Carolina. Like me, you getting ready to hit the Senior Bowl, I believe. Then you got the NFL scouting combine, man. So you're a busy man. And so I really appreciate you taking time out your schedule, man, to come and sit down with your boy Dolph, man. And let's talk what we love to talk about, man. Talk about those New Orleans Saints, man. And again, thank everybody for being here. And before I get out of here, I got to get the song, man. I got to get the song. You know, TJ, like, what song? You know what song. But at the end, we gonna get it at the end, man. Shout out to my boy Randy Major. Randy, what's going on, baby? Come on in. Thank you for being here, baby. Listen, we gonna get it started. So the Saints finished the 2026 season 6-11, better than a lot of people expected.
Mm-hmm.
Now, during the offseason, when I was bored and acting crazy, I shouted out 10-6, 10-7. Now, in my heart of hearts, I knew better than that, but hey, it was summer, needed content. But anyway, man, listen, y'all know how I do, man. I don't like really doing record predictions until I see the team gelling, see them over a period of time. But, man, when this, first of all, let's go all the way back, TJ. Let's start at the beginning, man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the hiring of Kellen Moore. There were those who were saying the Saints had the least favorable job opening last year. I would like to say one thing. I'm happy as hell the Saints changed coaches last year, because this year there is no way in hell Kellen Moore would have been the coach of the New Orleans Saints. Not with these 10 job openings. He would not have come here. So the Saints kind of lucked up in that, man. But as the search was going on, man, did you think the Saints got the man that they wanted, or do you think they settled for the guy?
I think it was a combination of both. I think the Saints kind of looked across the landscape, and of course there were some guys that they felt probably would have been, the type of guys that they needed for the team. I know Aaron Glenn name came up. I know that Cliff Kingsbury, Joe Brady, and among others. But, sometimes it happens that way. Just because you wasn't the first choice doesn't mean that you can't create change. I mean, Sean Payton wasn't the Saints' first choice. Mike McCarthy was.
Yeah. People forget.
Sean Payton, and the rest is history. So, it doesn't matter like if Kellen Moore was their first choice or their third choice. The fact is that Kellen Moore is here, and he's doing some things that the Saints actually need. They needed a culture change. I just think that Saints fans kind of got used to the status quo. I think that the organization too got kind of accustomed to the status quo. And sometimes you got to shake things up, Dolph. Sometimes things can't stay the same. And what you have is a young coach who understands the team, a guy who has played in the National Football League, guy that understands the ebbs and flows of the game, the ups and downs. From being a starting quarterback some Sundays to being a backup quarterback. So guys have a way of rallying around guys that have been in a foxhole with them and understand what it's like to go to war. So Kellen Moore is the right guy for the job, man. I think at the beginning it didn't seem that way, but it seemed like he found his footing. And I just think that we all have to understand that this was his first head coaching job. So I know you look at guys like Ben Johnson and some of these other coaches that come in first year and, you just hit the ground running, but it was going to be a process. And I think if you are a logical Saints fan, you recognize that.
Right. And like you were saying, it took Saints management time to come around and to embrace that this is a full-fledged rebuild. And you spoke about Ben Johnson, but what the Bears did, they were very aggressive. He came in, he identified interior offensive line to protect his young cornerback. They went on and got Jackson and tuned in from the Chiefs.
Right.
Now, the Saints going to 2026, there is no doubt there is no quarterback competition. Spencer Rattler is the starting quarterback. J Live, stop talking about me. Tyler Shough is the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. Now, it is time for the Saints to build around this young man, and that's a blueprint they can follow. The Saints are soft as Sherman tissue up the middle right now, and especially on the right side, which is a disappointment because you got a former first-round draft pick who was one of the most frustrating players to watch because of his inconsistency, which overshadows the talent that he does have. I believe the Saints need an upgrade at that position. What is your thought about that?
I think so. This is a guy, I assume you're talking about Cesar Ruiz here. But Cesar Ruiz, they drafted him in 2020, and it was surrounded by controversy when he was drafted. And it doesn't help that he didn't live up to it, because we got to remember back in 2020 when the Saints, got opportunity. A lot of people thought they were going to draft Jordan Love, especially when the New England Patriots moved out of the first round. We knew that they needed a quarterback at the time, and the Saints shocked everybody by getting Cesar Ruiz. And, he hasn't lived up to that first round tag. The first year, you can kind of, give him a pass. It was a COVID year. A lot of things that rookies normally couldn't do. But it just, it's just a combination of, you'll have a game where he probably plays solid, and then you have another game where he just doesn't look the part. And even Mickey Loomis spoke about Cesar Ruiz in a press conference, and I thought that was very alarming, man. When you start bringing up players and talking about, challenging them like out in the open, that's not a good sign. I think the Saints do need to go in a different direction, and I do feel, like you said, that they need to build around Tyler Shough. Now, you need to fix that interior, and you need to improve this offensive line, and also, pretty sure we'll get into it, they need to fix this running game as well. Like, you cannot just rely on what you've seen from Tyler Shough and say, oh, yeah, we got it. Well, you may have it in a quarterback position, man, but you can kill this kid's confidence and the momentum that he has by not putting solid infrastructure around him in order for him to succeed. So I definitely agree with what you're saying. The interior needs to improve.
Right. And I don't know if it's a trend now going on with GMs around the league or throwing players under the bus or calling them out in the public. Because you got Buffalo, they just assassinated Keon Coleman the other day, which is, I think his days they are numbered. But like you say, Mickey Loomis did. It was a moment. Mickey Loomis came out and say simply and plain, we got to get Mo. The same thing who Dat Nation been saying for years now, other than the 1 year when Jory Evans first got here and he had the best season of his career and he got the contract, which seems to be a thing with a lot of these players. They get the contract and their play seems to go down. But now you have Tyler Shough. The 2026 NFL draft, because the Saints hit with Tyler Shough, to me, they are not forced to go into the 2026 NFL draft and select a player that I would say is not worthy of being selected as the first pick or the 8th pick in the NFL draft. Now, a lot of people love Mendoza. I think the young man is a great college quarterback. He reminds me of Tim Tebow on the NFL level. He's a better passer, but he reminds me a lot of Tim Tebow. I'm scared to death of that. I'm just glad the Saints aren't in that position. And with them hitting on Tyler Shough, what that does, that allows them now to immediately improve in other areas of this team. So let's go. You brought it up, the running game. To run the ball, it starts up front. But also, you got to have talent in the backfield. You got to be able to identify when the hole is not there. You got to be able to bounce it outside. You got to be able to break that first tackle. You got to be able to get yards out after contact. So Alvin's been hurt the last couple years. I still believe Alvin is a good player. I still believe he has something left in the tank, but he needs help. And my God, and listen, Randy, I'm with you. I see you, Randy. Randy put it right there. Listen, that's everybody's dream right there. You better hope Tennessee doesn't get him. But if Jeremiah Love is sitting there at 8, the Saints better run that card up there and select this kid. To me, he will give the Saints their version of Jahmyr Gibbs and B. John Robinson. This kid is special also. And if he was in last year's draft with Ashton Genty, I believe he would have been the first running back off the board. What's your thoughts about that?
Well, I don't know if he would have been a first running back off the board. I just think that Ashton Genty, you have to take into account where he was doing it at. I mean, even though Boise State, they're a credible college. I mean, they've done some really good things over the years, but he still was doing it at what many consider a mid-major conference. And a lot of people thought, that he should have won a Heisman instead of Travis Hunter. That's a topic for another day. But I think that Jeremiah Love, I think he kind of found his stride. It's ironic. He shared the backfield with Altrick Estime, the Saints running back. And that caused him to not be on the field because how good Estime was actually running the ball at Notre Dame. But I agree with what you're saying about Jeremiah Love. He's definitely the guy that I feel the Saints need to go after in the first round. This is a guy that can create his own opportunities. And I just think that's what you need in a running back. I was watching quite a few playoff games last weekend, and you're watching guys like Christian McCaffrey and James Cook and Saquon Barkley. I mean, you see these guys like just going out there creating their own opportunities, like a little bit of space, and they're finding ways to get 1 or 2 yards when they should have been stopped in the backfield. Like, you need dynamic running backs, and you need guys that are going to be able to create opportunities. That way, all defense is going to have to scheme for not only what Tyler Shough and the wide receivers can do, but also how to neutralize the running game. So I definitely feel like the Saints need a dynamic running back. This is not an indictment on Alvin Kamara at all, but you have to combine the fact that Alvin will be 31 years old when the season starts, and Alvin hasn't been able to finish a season. I mean, it has been a lot of injuries that have plagued Alvin throughout the years. And look, you can like Alvin all day. I'm not saying that they need to cut him or anything like that, but I just think that they need to have a conversation within that organization as well with Alvin and try to discuss, what they can possibly do to try to get this backfield going, man. Because, a lot of what Alvin does and made him dynamic, I feel like the Saints kind of shied away from that because they made him such a feature back. But getting a young stud like Jeremiah Love in the backfield alongside Alvin Kamara, a guy that can actually, take him under his wing, I think that would be a really good 1-2 punch. And, I think they will get Alvin a little bit of a rest, when it comes to like down in a season where the Saints are really going to have to rely on that running game.
And then if the Saints were fortunate enough to select Jeremiah Love and were smart enough to do so, I look at Alvin being used more in the passing game. And listen, Jeremiah Love, he can catch the ball out the backfield too. He's a good receiving back also. And like you say, to me, it's AK 2.0. He's that talented of a kid, what I dare say, more explosive. The kid, he's just a special football player. But there's another special football player in this draft that I think can be a day one starter and has the talent to be a future All Pro. And I'm talking about Mr. Downs from Ohio State. I love this kid. I could see this kid coming in here if the Saints and Alontae Taylor don't agree upon a new contract. If he decides to walk and the Saints bring in Downs, man, listen here. I'm ecstatic. You put him back there with Sanker. They re-signed Love the other day, and I like the signing. The only thing is injury. So that's why I wouldn't shy away from getting a all-star, a blue chip player like Downs if he is there to pair him and Sanker back there. Then listen, Jordan Howden as a role player this past season, he played good. He's become a key special team player, and he's not the liability on defense that a former All-Pro special teamer was, who we all just put our head down every time he had to go on the field and play safety, man. Shout out to you, my boy. But now let's go to I want to talk about this wide receiver room. Chris Olave. Do you pay Chris, if you're the GM, do you pay Chris Olave the market value around $30 million a year?
I mean, that's the going price for a wide receiver. You know, it's not about, you know, what you actually could do most of the time. Is about what your value is. Like, if he's valued as a number one receiver, then, you know, it's probably going to get paid like a number one receiver. Now, I think we need to have a question, and we need to have a conversation. Like, what ballpark are we talking about here? Are we talking about making him the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL? I would say no. You know, when I look at Chris Olave, I see a very, very talented wide receiver. I see a top shelf wide receiver, but I still feel like there are things about his game that gives me a cause to pause about just labeling him a true number one receiver. Like, I just think that if the New Orleans Saints were to get, you know, a guy like Jordan Tyson, or get like one of these other like really good alpha dog type wide receivers, I feel like Chris Olave wouldn't mind just taking a back seat. That's just his personality to me. But look, I think that he definitely deserves to be paid handsomely. He is all pro. I'm pretty sure his agent is going to take that into consideration. The fact that he played every single game, I think they're going to also take that into consideration. I think that the value of Chris Olave has went up because of this season, but I think the Saints need to be mindful of this decision. Now, I think they need to pay him, but do I feel like he needs to be the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL? Absolutely not.
Got you. Now, areas that I saw Chris improving this year was with yak yards. That's an area that over the years he was lacking in. I believe he improved in there dramatically. 50-50 balls. When I think about it, TJ, man, for that kid to bounce back and have the type of season he had this year, man, and not only go out there and have a Pro Bowl year, but the kid had an All-Pro year, man. And to me, when you are selected as an All-Pro, you answer the question. You can be a number one. Now, the thing is, who's going to be that number 3 wide receiver? Because I love Devon Valley. I love that trade when the Saints got him. He's that big body receiver that we have been missing since Michael Thomas walked out the building. Right. I'm so intrigued about Jalen Polk. What will he bring when healthy? And think about the trade that they did. This kid was injured, and they traded for him with a look to the future. So there's something that evidently Coach Moore and the staff, they like about this young man, to bring an injured player and knowing he can't help you this year, but he can help you the following season. So I'm very interested to see how he fits into this thing. And like you were saying, if Jeremiah Love's off the board, if Downs off the board, and Tyson Jordan's there, you better get him. You got to get them. You got to bring in young, talented receivers. Hell, we had New Edition catching a touchdown in the last game, man. We had Ronnie Bell catching touchdowns
right, for real.
in the game, man. I like, damn, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, man. I mean,
yeah, for real.
Listen, and let's go to Tyler Shough, man. I was watching his interview with Tyron today, man. And I watched also the one with T Stead, man. And I just like this kid. I just like this kid, man. His bravado, man. He got a swag about him, bro. He's a cusser too. So he fits in well. He's a cusser. Yeah. He's a cusser. He likes to cuss. But what the kid has done, man, that some people didn't do, he embraced the city as soon as he got here.
Right.
He embraced the city, and he's staying in town over the season, during the off season. He's congratulations to him and his wife as they're expecting their first child. The kid, man, has shown me since the time he stepped on the field in the preseason. I'm gonna tell you when I looked at Tyler Shough and I said, this kid's a quarterback. It's way in the preseason. It has nothing to do with the last 4 games. It's that preseason game against the Chargers. He comes out there, he throws a pick 6. And what does he do immediately after that? Ice water comes right back and throws a touchdown pass just like that. And I'm looking at the kid, the way he's handling himself, the way he looked. Look, we have watched football. We have saw the greats. We have seen good quarterbacks. We have seen bad quarterbacks. You just know when you see him, he has a chance to be him. Right. And when this kid got his first start, when he went against the Bucks, that was a tough situation for him to be thrown in. But I watched the way he handled himself. Then his first start was against the Rams. And I heard a lot of people saying that's kind of the wrong team that you would want him to get his first start against. Me? No, that's the team I want you to get your start with. Because I'm going to see right now, from day one, your first start, you going against dogs over there. I'm going to see what you made of. And listen, this kid has the locker room. And what he did that separates top-tier quarterbacks from above average and just average quarterbacks, and let me know if you agree with this, he elevated the play of players around him.
Yeah. I mean, look, I agree. I think that he checks all the boxes. He's dating back from the time where he was drafted. He made it a duty to ingratiate himself within the city. You know, I always say on a podcast, like, if you love New Orleans, they'll love you back. But if you show disloyalty to New Orleans, they'll never forgive you for it. It's the reason why guys like Chris Paul and Anthony Davis and so many different other players that, you know, have said things about the city, haven't showed their appreciation to the city, get booed every time they step foot in New Orleans. And I don't think that that's ever going to change. Like, it's an intimate town. Like, anybody from New Orleans, you already know, like, there's a love there, right? I mean, people show love to you, like but they want you to show love back. And I think that's something that Tyler Shough did, and I think it worked in his favor. But, you know, that means absolutely nothing if you don't go out there and ball. The fact that he went out there and he showed promise. I just think right now what Tyler Shough represents for a lot of Saints fans is hope. You know, like hope. Like, you have a chance, you know, in the future. Like, I mean, since Drew has retired, I mean, the future has been kind of bleak. I mean, people have been going back and forth on social media and in town, you know, man, talking about the state of the team and what they need to do in order to improve. Like, people fired in the front office. But this guy, you know, it seemed like he just has the opportunity to hold the city together, and people believe in his kid. And, you know, one thing about it, you know, what I like about him too is he is embracing this whole, you know, this whole like hope, you know, like this hope symbol that he has become. Like, he hasn't shied away from it. And you know, and I like that he is unapologetically himself. Like, when he's doing interviews, you can tell like he's being himself.
Yeah.
And you know, I just think that he just fits in really well. I think that he came in with a different type of energy than I'm going to say Derek Carr came in. Derek Carr came in as if he was the savior of the franchise and did absolutely nothing, to be able to hold up that moniker. But I think that Tyler Shough is doing all the right things, and his teammates believe in him. And I think that he is going to be the guy that leads this team in the near future. And he's also going to be an appealing spot for a lot of free agents. Somebody that's interested in getting the ball, that's going to be a free agent. They probably take a trip to New Orleans because of what Tyler Shough can bring to the table. If you're a defensive player and you feel like all I got to do is do my job because there's a young, promising quarterback on the other side, that might make it appealing to for that defensive player to come to the Saints. So it just opens up endless possibilities for this team. Now, he has to continue to improve. He only started in about 8 or 9 games this season. I mean, you got to be able to continue to improve. You don't want to be like, a long laundry list of guys who have had really good rookie campaigns but couldn't follow up on it. But doesn't seem like that's what he's on. So hopefully he can continue the momentum and get the Saints back to some legitimate football.
Yeah, excuse me, everybody. I'm got a little cold. But I totally agree with you, TJ. And listen, when you talk about Tyler Shough, the kid went 5-4 as a starter. He's a finalist for Offensive Rookie of the Year, just starting 9 games.
Right.
He led the league. I'm going to say this again. 5-4 as a starter. He led the league in third down passing rating. That not for rookies, but for all quarterbacks.
Right.
And something that you said and something that I noticed, and I'm sure everybody noticed, was about the hope that he has given us. For the first time, I sat down when the Saints were trailing in the game since Drew Brees left. I sat down, I perked up in my seat because I said we got a chance to win this game.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
Because of this kid here. And we didn't believe the kid went out there, he earned this. Everything that he is accolades, the pats on the back that he's getting right now, the kid earned it. But let me say this about him. He knows what all the naysayers were saying. He knows how they talk about he's too old. He knows he wasn't supposed to be a second-round pick. Hell, he wasn't even on the map until the Senior Bowl. And when we were up there watching him in the Senior Bowl, shout out to Dante, ECG, and he turned me on, and I was just watching this kid. I said, man, why is no one talking about this kid? He had everything that you wanted. The thing that you heard about, he's injury prone.
Yeah.
Kid had broken bones, man. It's different. And the thing that I hate to hear, listen, I understand that we're talking about in sports, but damn it, 26 is still 26. I'm so tired of hearing he's 26 years old. He has a lot of college experience. He was in college for 7. Spencer Rattler played more games in college than Tyler Shough. Tyler Shough did not play that many games in college. So now, like you were saying, this year, second year, sophomore year, teams now have film on you. They got a full off season to dissect you.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we would be able to tell, is this kid the truth or not? Mm-hmm. I believe he has the makeup. I believe he has that talent. Sometimes you just see him.
Mm-hmm.
You just look at him and you watch him play. And I'm telling you, TJ, the feeling, man, I'm just talking about it. For 5-6 years, we weren't even able to talk about having a chance when we were trailing in the game. And all the quarterbacks we went through, man, it's been a long time. And for this kid to go 5-4 down the stretch, shit, damn near went 6-3 down the stretch. Listen, and let me just let you know, Tyler, we can't be getting swept by the Falcons, baby, and he knows that too. And he already know he hated it. He hated it, baby. He already knows what that rivalry is about now, baby. He sees, he understands, man. And he's the leader of this team, man. You got veterans following this kid. You got 2 veterans wanting to come back because of this kid.
Yeah.
Cam wants to come back because of Tyler Shough. DeMario Davis wants to come back because of Tyler Shough. We finally have hope, Who Dat Nation. Hope. That's all. Listen, hope. How many times in the last 5 years before this season were you able to sit down and watch a Saints game when they get down by 2 scores and you pretty much can get up and go do anything else for the rest of the day because you knew it was over? Not with Tyler Shough. I wanted to see what he was going to do. That Tampa Bay game and that monsoon, the performance he put on the ground, coming up with big plays, big-time runs, making big-time throws. This kid, I'm telling you, man, the one knock on him coming out of college was what? Him being in the pocket, kind of shaky in the pocket, gets happy feet, does crazy things. We know the play everybody kept showing all season, and you had these experts on X and YouTube who kept showing that one pass from the scouting combine, and oh my God, this is who the Saints selected. You know, people like that. So he hears all that. The kid he's the type of player I think from listening to him and really dissecting him, he's the type of player that feeds off that. The kid know what it is, TJ? And Who Dat Nation? The kid wants to be great. He wants to be great. There are those former players in the league who do their own little shows who are hating on him. Don't believe he should be in a Rookie of the Year finalist. Don't believe he's that good. But guess what? The only thing that matters is those players on airline highway, that administration, that coaching staff, and this fan base. That's all that matters. Right. Now, let's switch over, man. Let's talk about a room that I believe is in dire straits right now. Despite Juwan Johnson having a career year, we have nothing behind him. Foster Moreau is hurt again. Taysom Hill likely has played his last game as a member of the New Orleans Saints. Do the Saints go into free agency and bring in a veteran to help them in this room, or do they look to the draft?
I think they need to do both. I think that they need to draft a tight end, and I think they need to go into free agency looking for a tight end. I mean, Juwan Johnson is the only tight end that's under contract right now. I mean, you have Jack Stoll. He's unrestricted free agent. I think Foster Moreau, if I'm not mistaken, unrestricted free agent. Well, you still got Monteval, who's the rookie. He's still on contract, but other than that, it's just Juwan Johnson. So I do feel like you need to get yourself a new tight end in free agency, and also draft one. I mean, they got some talented tight ends that can come in, that can be a blocking tight end as well as being a pass catcher. But you can't just go into 2026 solely relying on Juwan Johnson. And although Juwan had a really good season and, he quieted a lot of naysayers in certain ways, I think the connection between he and Tyler Shough definitely opened some eyes. But I just think that they need to get a little bit younger, and I think they need to get themselves a real true tight end. Like I don't look at Juwan Johnson as a true tight end. I look at him as a guy who was a oversized wide receiver, because that's what he was. And I just think the Saints need to get away from trying to put a square peg into a round hole. If a guy is a wide receiver, like, don't try to make him a tight end. And if you're going to make him a tight end, don't make him your number one guy. Like, try to get a tight end, a guy that can get you those yards after the catch, that guy that you can rely on in the red zone, a guy that you can rely on in the running game. Like that's what the Saints need to do. And I think Kellen Moore is going to do that. I think he's a smart enough guy to realize that, even though Tyler Shough has found some success early in his career, you can't just, have him just out there without a running game and also supporting cast. So I think they're going to do both. I think they're going to sign somebody in free agency, and I think they're going to draft a tight end probably in the later rounds.
In the later rounds. And speaking of Coach Mo, we're going to talk about Coach Mo when we come back. We'll be right back.
This is a special presentation brought to you by the Come On in Sports Network.
All right, man, we back. It's a quick break. Don't go to the bathroom, baby. You're going to miss something. All right, so Kellen Moore, at the beginning of the season, some people got frustrated with him. Hell, I even got frustrated with him because of his game management, questionable calls. But I had to step back and remember, as you say earlier in the beginning of the show, that he is a rookie head coach. He is learning how to navigate through the waters of being a head coach and being in charge of everything. He's the CEO of the ship. As the season went on, he got extremely better, in my opinion. You started to see toward the end of the season the type of offense that we were looking for early in the season. And I believe he made the greatest decision of the entire season when he did not start Tyler Shough week 1. In fact, Tyler Shough himself said, I was not ready to start week 1. But if I would have had to go out there, I would have went out there and I would have given everything I have. But he said he wasn't ready. Kellen Moore knew he wasn't ready. But when the time was right, he inserted Shough. And you can see, I would say maybe the third game, he kind of just started cutting it loose. Just let him play football. The only way he's going to learn, he's got to go out there and play football. And, man, Kellen Moore did a great job. He has the team behind him. He's not the rah guy. He's not the Dan Campbell. He's not out there biting kneecaps and breaking ankles and all that. But what he is, man, he's a tactician. He's a really smart coach, and he is a player's coach. He's the coach, and you hear that's one thing I heard the entire season, preseason, regular season, postseason. He listens to his players, and he takes what they say into consideration, and he tries to implement that into the game plan to get the best out of his players. And as a player, you cannot ask anything more from your coach. So Kellen Moore, man, I believe that he progressed in his first year as a head coach. When Tyler was talking, he was like, hey, man, this is the first offseason that he's really going to be able to, just self-scout himself. He's not moving cross country. He's not moving one team, installing a new offense here or there. It's going to be the same offense, man. And like we say, so we're now talking about tight ends. We both agree we got to get some tight end help in here for Juwan Johnson, a versatile tight end who can block as well as catch, man. The favorite player out there, everybody talks about, likely from the Ravens. And then there's a guy that he coached in Philly named Dallas Goedert. I believe Dallas Goedert is going to be a free agent too, if I'm not mistaken. Would any of those two gentlemen help the New Orleans Saints tight end room, and would they be a good fit in your estimation?
I think Dallas Goedert would, but I look at Isaiah Likely, and I know him very, very well. He went to Coastal Carolina, so I watched him, and he's a talented tight end. He's a guy who has a big catch radius, a really good red zone threat, and he can have the capabilities of taking over a game every now and then, but I feel like his skill set is kind of similar to Juwan Johnson. He just an oversized wide receiver. But, somebody's going to pay Isaiah Likely, and he should be compensated. But I think the Saints need someone like a Dallas Goedert. I just think they need that classic tight end, the George Kittles, the Mercedes Lewis type guys. You know what I'm saying? Like the big physical wide receivers that can help out in the run blocking and also be able to help in a red zone and also in those third down conversions. So that's what I feel like the New Orleans Saints need. I also, I think you have to look at Cade Otton as well. I mean, he's going to be a free agent. I know, he played for Tampa, but look, man, if you need a guy that can come in that can make some plays, Cade Otton throughout his career has shown that he can make some plays. So I wouldn't take Cade Otton off the table either. If Tampa don't want to pay him, I mean, I think that he'll be a great addition to the Saints.
Yeah, I love Cade Otton, man. Listen, we need good football players.
Mm-hmm.
all I want is good football players. That's it. coachable, good football players who love the game. That's the key. They got to love football. They love. If you don't love, you can be talented if you want, as you want. If you don't love the game, eventually it's go tell. Now we talked about the Saints friend needed to protect Tyler Shough. So when we look at their salary cap, the Saints could clear over $53 million this year by reconstructing some contracts. Eric McCoy, I believe, is one. Who else can they restructure? I know it was Eric McCoy. It was also not Caesar. Need to cut Caesar, but not. I don't know, man. But
I think maybe AK too. They can probably try to do a restructure with him as well. If I'm not,
AK, AK can restructure with him also, and one more person, man, that slips my mind right now. But the Saints can free up over $53 million, and that can allow them to get into the free agent pool and go after a veteran offensive guard. Now, the top guy is going to be the man right there, Smith, right there in Kansas City, which is crazy. I mean, but if the Saints are able to free up $53 million, if you're able to bring an instant starter in to help your young quarterback, then go into the draft and get you maybe say the third, fourth round, you got 2 4th-round picks, and get you a young, promising understudy to eventually replace Cesar Ruiz, then we talking. But TJ, there's an area on this team that I think a lot of us are overlooking. Eric McCoy is one of the top centers in the National Football League.
Right.
When healthy. We need a young swing. We need a swing offensive lineman to play center and guard.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to see, I must say that Luke Faulkner came in and he held it down.
Yeah.
He held it down. And I would not mind him coming back.
Right.
I would not mind him coming back. Now, Dylan Rayons, he kind of disappointed me. I thought he'll be better than what we had last year, better than Ali Udo and Lemieux, and it just wasn't. It just wasn't. So definitely who that record say, Emmanuel Pragon, the offensive guard from Oregon, man. Yeah, he that would definitely him in the second round. Jeremiah Love and him in the second round. Sign me up for that, man. Sign me up for that, man. But let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Okay, I know we kind of jumping now because I know we pressed for time, man. Defensive side of the ball. Does Danny Stutzman overtake Pete Werner this season?
Man. I think so. I think so. I think if you start to look at, how the season progressed and how they just thrust Danny Stutzman into the game, and not just thrust him into the game, they thrust him in there in crucial situations. And Danny Stutzman, he's made of the right stuff, man. I mean, he's a guy that's flying around. He gets in a game very sporadically, but every time he gets in there, you can see the impact. I think we can all look at that game versus the Miami Dolphins when he got that tackle for loss, and it's just something about him, man. He just comes with a different type of energy. Pete Werner, he's not a bad linebacker. I don't want anybody to get that.
No, he's not.
He's not bad. Like, if the Saints were to move on from, Pete Werner, which I doubt that they will, but he'll have a job and he'll be a starter in the NFL. Like, he's not bad, but I just think that the Saints are missing those sideline linebackers. I mean, you got the cerebral linebackers. That's what Pete Werner and Demario Davis are to me. Like, you can count on them. Like, they know where they need to be. And you need those type of guys on the team. Like, you need the guys that understands what the offense is trying to throw at them and making the right decisions. But I just think that Danny Stutzman, with a really good, solid offseason and keeping his head down and staying focused, I think that he will eventually end up being a starter. I would not be surprised when Demario Davis hangs up the cleats that Danny Stutzman doesn't replace him. Like I think that he has that type of ability, that type of skill set. I think he can be 100+ tackle type guy, and depends on his development. He can possibly be flirting with a Pro Bowl or even an All-Pro. I just think that he's fit of that type of stuff. But I don't think it's the end of Pete Warner, but I guarantee you in year 2 of Danny Stutzman, he's going to be giving Pete Warner a run for his money. And if he comes in a much better version of himself, in which he showed he is really good in his rookie season, I think that Pete Warner might end up being his backup.
Hell, he had 53 tackles in the backup role. So he's halfway to 100. He's over halfway to 100 already. Exactly. So, and this rookie class, man, again, we talk about Shough, man, but he's the icing on the cake. He was the most important. But my God, this rookie class may have, I'm telling you, this rebuild because of this rookie class has been sped up.
Yeah.
It has been sped up, man. Quincy Riley, Jonas Sanker. And we talking about Tyler Shough. I didn't say Quincy Riley. I didn't say Jonas Sanker. But my God, let me first say this. For all y'all on draft night who were upset, throw remotes, breaking things because you wanted Tyler Warren or you wanted Ashton Jeanty. And the Saints selected from the University of Texas, Calvin Banks Jr. How the hell you feel now? Because I'm telling you right now, that young man there is a future All-Pro, locked down for a decade if he stays healthy. And now you move Tadalisi Fuaga, the dancing bear, back to his right tackle position. We are good on the edges. Calvin Banks Jr. has not gotten enough love this season. He's the man. In the second half of the season, 0 sacks allowed. 0. Nada. Goose egg. And when you watch this kid coming out of Texas, footwork was great. He kind of needed to work on climbing to the second level in his run blocking, but as the year went on, he got better at that. The kid just improved. Now, he had his rookie moments. Every rookie's going to have their rookie moment. Hell, Peyton Manning threw 28 intercepts his rookie season, but he's still Peyton Manning. So he ain't about how you start, it's how you finish. But Calvin Banks Jr., man, was an excellent selection for the New Orleans Saints. And I know a lot of times people get who that nation, you get impatient, you get frustrated because we keep swinging, we keep drafting offensive linemen. But again, football at every level will always be about the trenches. If you suck in the trenches, you ain't gonna have a lot of success, if any at all. You must have a competent offensive and defensive line. And man, I just want to give Calvin Banks Jr. some love, man, because I am comfortable with him as my left tackle. When he goes out the game, I'm nervous. When he's in the game, Tyler's all right. I have no worries about that, man. What was your thoughts when watching Calvin Banks Jr. this season?
I mean, I said it at the beginning of the season. I said if he stays healthy, I say he may go down in history as one of the best offensive linemen in Saints history. And I'm not just saying that just to say it. Like, I met him at the combine, and I kind of, when he was talking, he was like, man, out of Saints, like, really was just grilling him during the interview process. I was like, yeah, they probably going to end up drafting. And even like if you go back to the live draft reaction, I said about the draft Calvin Banks. And sure enough, they did. But look, people don't like, drafting offensive linemen. Why? Because it's a boring position. Like, nobody really, honestly, you don't really pay attention to the offensive linemen unless they playing bad. The fact that nobody really was saying anything about Calvin Banks, that's probably the best honor that you can give an offensive lineman, that you don't talk about him. I mean, he has been the most steady offensive lineman on the line. He was healthy for the exception of that last game of the season, an unfortunate event that, a player rolled over on the back of his ankle and he had to lead the game. But, I mean, you look at his numbers. I mean, they match up with some of the best offensive linemen that have been in the league for 5 years plus. I mean, this dude is the truth, man. And, the Saints have searched desperately to try to replace Teron Armstead. You know, James Hurst, and you know, he tried to bring in Trevor Penning. That didn't work out. But it seemed like you got yourself something special in Calvin Banks, man. This guy just does his job, man. He's a humble kid. You know, he works hard, and he doesn't make the same mistake twice. And, you know, you got yourself a really good combination, man, of a quarterback and a left tackle, it seems, right now. So I like the fact that the New Orleans Saints drafted him. I think it was necessary. I just think that people just want the flashy, sexy positions, but that means absolutely nothing. It goes back to what you just said. It means absolutely nothing if you don't fix the offensive line. You could have the best quarterback in the league, but if he's getting killed because his offensive line can't protect him, then guess what? You'll never see the greatness in him. They got themselves a really good, talented left tackle, and I think Saints fans should be excited about it. And also the right tackle. Look, people try to talk about Tallahassee, but, man, if y'all know some of the things that this dude was dealing with throughout the season with the back injuries, I mean, just him being out there just shows you that he is a team-first guy. But I guarantee you, you're going to see a better version of Tallahassee Fuaga in his third year when he's healthy. And you're going to have yourself really good, strong anchors on the left and the right side. Goes back to the beginning of this conversation, Dolph, is about what we're going to do in the interior, what the Saints are going to do with the interior. And if they can fix that, then I think they're going to have themselves a really good offense. And if Tyler Shough can build on that momentum, they probably be messing around and flirting with an NFC South title and a playoff berth, something we haven't seen since number 9 walked into that tunnel in that divisional round against Tampa.
Yep. And, man, Tallahassee Fuaga, man, when I watched that kid at the Senior Bowl, man, he locked up everybody he went up against. Everybody. I'm talking about the top pass rushers coming out, the kid from UCLA, Latu. Man, he just it was unfair what he did him. It was unfair. Draft stock went because Tallahassee, I'm telling you, I knew it. I came back after the Senior Bowl. I kept screaming. I kept telling everybody, Tallahassee Fuaga, I'm telling you, that's the man. Now you got him. And like you say, he was dealing with a multitude of injuries this season that he was out there trying to play through. And that goes back to a lot of things that I like to say, man. We don't realize what these players have to go through to get out on that field, man.
Yeah.
You know, we don't see the crawling into the bed, barely can get out of the bed, the pain and everything they go through, they put their bodies through, man.
Right.
So all we see is Sundays, and that's all we hear about Sundays. You know, they're human beings, man, and they go through a lot. But TJ, man, I want to thank you for being here, man. Thank you for joining me. Look, we got like 8 minutes to go. If you got a question for TJ, please put it in the chat, man. But TJ, I told you at the beginning, bro, I got to hear the song, bro. And you know the one I'm talking about, bro. You know, for those who come late, you know what I'm saying, they might not catch us, baby. What you say, TJ? Give it to your boy Dolph one time, baby. Give it to me one time.
Shout out to the Master Show boys and the Master Show.
Yeah, bro. Shouts out. Yeah, I like that. Hey, man, I was in the car, me and my son, man, and I turned around. He was back there bouncing. Like, shouts out. I said, yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, Dolph, it's just all about entertainment, man. You know, any way I can try to entertain the people that come over to the podcast. I mean, that's what I try to do, man. So, you know, I enjoy, you know, making, you know, the little parody songs and stuff like that. It's all in good love, man. It's all in the name of entertainment. I have nothing but love and respect for those players that lace up for the black and gold and strap up every single week, man. I mean, we criticize when necessary, man, but look, we respect what those guys do, and you know, we appreciate the efforts that they put towards on Sunday, man. We just want to get back to some meaningful football, man. And you know, I think they're going to get there sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it looks like we're on the right path to doing that. And my brother, man, once again, I want to thank you for being here, man. I'm proud of you, man. Keep doing your thing, man. I'll be seeing you on X hollering at them haters, man. I just be dying laughing, man.
Oh man,
you know, man. Listen, I love when you hear them, man. I'm certified, baby. You know what I'm saying? Check my
man. Like,
baby.
I don't know, man. It just seems like, because you see like certain people, and I guess they familiarize themselves with the team. They just like, oh man, you just a fan. But I'm like, man, I put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
I do a lot of things that a lot of people don't really see. Like some of the places, and that they see these reporters and and all these other people that they admire. Like I'm in the same spot, and to be honest with you, man, like I bust my ass to be in that spot. So yeah, I take it very personal, man. I take it very personal when people just label me as a fan. Like, man, look, I am a credentialed member of the media, and I just do it different, man. Man, you seen this big debate, with the Jacksonville Jaguars reporter and people talking about what a reporter is supposed to be and all that. Man, I don't fall into a box, man. It's the whole reason why I decided to do podcasting in the first place. Like, I don't want to fall into a box. I don't want to be like everybody else. If I want to be like everybody else, like, I might as well don't do it at all. Like, what makes me different from everybody else?
Right.
I love the Saints. I was born and raised in New Orleans. I don't think that just because I have a love for the team don't mean that I can't take, I don't have journalistic integrity. And I just think that's ridiculous for anybody that feels that way. So, yeah, man. I mean, shouts out to you though, Dolph. I see you doing amazing things, man. You're gonna be at the Senior Bowl, and you're out here, and grinding and stuff like that, man. And that's what we need, man. You keep on doing what you're doing.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate your efforts, and we appreciate the content that you put out as well, my brother.
Man, I appreciate it, man. That means a lot coming from you, my brother. And listen, man, we got about 4 minutes, man. Y'all see the shirt, man. Shout out to my brothers, man, on the Come On In Sports Network, man. Again, we will be back at the Senior Bowl. It's a big honor, man. Looking forward to it. Got our own film crew this year, man. So listen, your boy Dove ain't gonna have to hold a tripod this year, hold an iPhone up this year. You know what I'm saying? I got some professionals with me this year. I got the team with me this year, man. So shout out to New Era Media and my guy Brandon, man, who gonna make that trip with me, man. Looking forward to it. This is his first time. He's excited, man. Really good guy, man, and he's part of that Come On In Sports Network family. Again, this is the great, the one and only TJ Jones. You can find this man on YouTube, Bleacher Report, NFC South Roundtable, sideline reporter for Coastal Carolina during the season, man. He's a great husband, great father, man, and I call him a friend, man. He's a really good friend, man. Anytime I call on that man, he's there for me, man, and listen, I might be a little older than him, but guess what? He'll drop that wisdom on your boy, dog, man. I really appreciate him, man. And again, my brother, thank you for taking time out your schedule, man. Tell your beautiful wife I appreciate it, man. I just saw y'all. Didn't y'all just have an anniversary? If I'm not mistaken,
that was a birthday. Her birthday was last week, man.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday, man. You know what I'm saying, man?
Man, that's hey, bro. Like, man, there's no me without her, man. That's my motivation. Her and my son. Like, if you follow me on social media, man, y'all know what my heart is, man. They motivate me, and my wife supports me in so many different ways, man. She allows me to be able to spend time with so many people, and she never complains about it, man. She understands what I try to do, and she tries to support that. So, I mean,
she see your passion, bro. She know your passion, bro.
No doubt about that,
bro. She knows your passion, man. And listen, again, I want to remind everybody, join us Sunday. It's Championship Sunday, Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Central Time, for As the NFL Turns, the fastest growing pregame show on all social media, baby. That's right. You got your boy Dolph in the house. Coach will be in the house on that oatmeal. We got Nine. We got Jeremy. Man, we got Carlos and PJ. Listen, we got Emmanuel, Cowboy, host of Atlanta Falcon Fandemic. Don't ask me, but hey, that's my brother. I love him to death. I love him to death, even though he wear that ugly ass red and black. But I ain't gonna hold that against him. But anyway, shout out to Uncle Jerry in the chat, man. We gonna get on out of here, man. TJ got to go. I got to go. Damn it, we about to freeze. We gonna be freezing over the weekend. Until next time, family. Y'all know how we go out. Love and who that. And we out. Peace. Yeah. We back, baby. Keeping it real. Who That Sports Pod. Dolph Jackson, Coach Rock. Presented by the Come On In Sports Network. Who That Nation, how you doing? Come on in. Take a seat, it's all good, you're amongst friends. Breaking news, interviews, Saints Juice. Open lines up just for you. 9th Ward, 10th Ward, where you at? 12th Ward, 15, where you at? 3rd Ward, 17, where you at? 9th Ward, all the way in the back. Uptown, baby, downtown, baby. Everybody represent black and gold, baby. Uptown, baby, downtown, baby. Everybody represent black and gold, baby. Who that? Who that? Who that saying?